do this live. This is a generic post on a lot of things. I don't know where I'm going to go, but I'm going to go with the flow and talk a little bit about all the things I'm learning at the moment and discovering and coming to the point now where I think I know what I need to do in life and what I'm really trying to heal from and why I came into this community, and not exactly how I got damaged, but definitely how I can fix myself and what I need to do and why I'm even in the physical health community. All these things have become apparent as I journey. So I'll just share and go with the flow and say whatever really on all these healing modalities that have come into my life by accident. Not an accident, is it? And what they all have in common to me, and what my mission is going to be now for the rest of my life, because now I know 100% in my heart. I've known for a few years now what the mission is, but I'm very sure specifically within the physical health what specifically is, and it's actually to do with the mind and the brain and the broken brain, the severely traumatized broken brain that I suffer, which, by the way, I'm not unique in that. We all have. This is an amazing thing. It's not just me, and that's why I can teach this stuff and experiment with so many healing modalities. And here's the thing. I'm going to go hardcore. One of my strengths, I have a lot of weaknesses, by the way, and I'm fucked up, but one of my strengths is I do push the boundaries of limits, and the reason why, primarily, is because I want to heal myself. And in doing that, I have great information, so I will push the fucking boundaries of this and really heal and purify the mind. And I'm going to a better understanding what it means to that mind you purified. We all live with damaged brains. Understand that. It's a consequence of the matrix. It's just a part of life. Yeah, flash, man. Well, Denise, there are other ways. There are other ways if you like aged urine. I'll talk a little bit about why aged urine is absolutely fucking fabulous for purification of the mind. And why it's all about the mind. Because we've all been split left to right. We all come in a poison environment. We all have suffering, as the Buddha discovered. Wherever there is life, there is misery and suffering. The Buddha was fucking right. And the way it's out of it are all the physical health protocols to a point, but even will elevate the consciousness and purify the mind. Aged urine is fucking fabulous for purifying the mind. One knows this when one drinks a few weeks old, or does a little body rubs, or up the nose or up the bum with a few weeks old aged urine, or even just takes sips of it. One feels instantly calm, at peace, and as Fabian Farquharson so beautifully says, one returns to 0 point. It's centering of the brain. These are all physical health protocols, that I put in the header. Aged urine, sun gazing, grounding, fasting, that we all engage in, or at least some of them, right? And all of them are really there because all of them there are to rebalance the mind. Yes, there's a mind-body connection, but the most powerful thing about them for me, for aged urine, and the reason why I've been led to it and to help other people with it, is because it does, not a little bit, it's not like a little, like eating a fruit. Eating fruits for a day is cool, yeah? Eating the right foods, it's very good too. I should have put fruits in the header too. That also purifies the mind. But there's slow things to purify the mind, which is okay for those of us that want the slow way. But I ain't got a fucking choice. I don't want the slow way. I want the fast way. Because I live in duality and I want to try and fix myself and get to a point of a much better consciousness. Because I come from such a low place. I don't think people understand. But I come from a really low and dark place. And in 10 years I've healed a lot, but I still haven't done a lot. So I don't want a slow way of doing things. I want a fast way, a long-term, lot of fasting, a lot of grounding, faster, aged urine, very, very fast. All these things will purify the mind. And of course, I can't not put into this header, also put at the end, keeping the body still, which is very fucking powerful, which I'm experimenting with now. Experimenting a bit last year, then I did the Vipassana 10-day retreat, and that's all about keeping the body still. It's really important. I don't think people understand this in the community. I'll say it again. Keeping the body still for a long period of time, not just exercise and movement, which is good for health, don't get me wrong, you can do a lot of exercise and movement, but keeping the body still for a long period of time, like say an hour, but absolutely fucking still. What does that do? It calms the body, stills the body, and it stills the mind. It purifies the mind so powerfully. When you meditate, you should always never itch, never scratch. Sit down wherever you're in a nice posture or whatever, and commit to not moving a muscle. And when it gets painful, you carry on sitting there. Yeah? It gets painful after 45 minutes or an hour, you carry on. You push things. And why? Not because you're addicted to pain, because you're addicted, as the Buddha said, the only way to enlightenment, or the highest version of yourself, and the purification of your mind, the slow process that we're all undertaking as part of the process, the only way is to suffer. The Buddha was right. You have to suffer. That's why he stood, I believe, for 10 hours under a fucking tree and didn't move a muscle. Yeah, I know what will happen when you sit still for 10 hours and not move a muscle. you will get enlightened. You won't have to do a meditation. You try it. You try 2 hours, 1 hour, 1 hour and a half of keeping completely still, not moving, nothing. You'll see your consciousness will change. You don't even have to meditate. You'll notice a massive shift in your consciousness. Your mind is getting purified. Just the same as when you drink a swab of aged urine. Hear what I said? One's painful and very cool and probably very powerful. The other one, aged urine, to me is a lot easier. You should do both. But there we go. Some people don't want to do aged urine. Okay, you don't want to do aged urine? Then you go and sit your ass still for 1 hour, 1 hour and a half. Because life is painful. Enlightenment is going to be painful. I'm not saying we're going to make it to enlightenment. I'm saying the purification of the mind, your version of coming up and purifying your mind, which is basically the compromise of the health and emotional journey that we're all undertaking, is going to be tough. I'm not saying I'm shooting for enlightenment. I'm saying that I'm shooting for the purification of my mind from the damage and trauma that's caused to it by the Matrix, of which I realise now when I talk to you guys on Zoom and stuff and video chat with you that it's not just me. It's all of us have got our own things. You know, whether we got ADHD, we got OCD, we got autism, mental disorders, bipolar, depression, suicidal thoughts. We're all fucked up, right? But the purification of the mind's the one. And by the way, keeping the body still is one we should all be practicing. Another one everyone should be doing, the Buddha's meditation, Vipassana. Yeah. And I don't mean just a 10-day retreat. And I do mean a 10-day retreat to get started, by the way, to kickstart and understand the process. In those 10 days, you will, if you do everything as instructed, you will experience magic. But the point of it isn't just to do the 10-day retreat, feel like you're taking drugs, which you do, by the way, if you do it properly, because you're coming out of suffering, doing 10 hours of true meditation, the Buddha's meditation. The one and truly only way to come out of suffering is to recognize that we live in duality, and every reaction we have is like craving or aversion. Everything we desire in life, we're either craving or aversion. We don't want bad things, and we crave good things. But those cause suffering, because that's called living in duality. But yeah, I could explain everything. I'm not going to go too deep on Vipassana, but that's what, there's loads. I love transcendental meditation too. It does a different thing. I don't think it does get to the deep root, in my opinion, by the way. Transcendental meditation doesn't tackle the root cause of suffering. I think the only one that does, in my opinion, is everything can help, physical health, protocol-wise, but you're still living in duality. The only way out of duality, I believe, at this point in my time, like the only way out of duality is the Buddha's meditation. Well, maybe there's others, but that's my bias at the moment that I know of, so there we go. But yes, purification of mind. Aged urine purifies your mind. Sun gazing I did today, that fucking purifies your mind, man. It's brain training. It's direct. Eyes is the brain. It's an extension of the brain. It purifies the mind when you sun gaze. That's why you feel calm and fearless and awesome when you sun gaze. Yes, any time of sun, midday, especially winter time, or sunrise in the morning. Grounding. Negative ions, by the way, purify the mind. That's been on my mind lately. I wish I put it in my third book. I'm updating my knowledge constantly. I think negative ions, whether that be through sea breezes, mountain pure air, whether that be through aged urine, negative ions, that's probably one of the reasons why negative aged urine is really powerful. One of many. Negative ions through grounding, just grounding as well. That purifies the mind. I can feel it, by the way, now when I'm grounded. I always could before, I didn't connect the dots. When I ground, my brain hemispheres get imbalanced. The medicine gets straight to the brain very quickly. From grounding, the longer you do it, the more it really infuses into the brain from the feet, because the feet you think it has to travel a long way when you ground. It has to go from the feet to the head. But what I've noticed when I did the Vipassana, I was fucking high, and I did like 2 seconds of grounding. Instantly, my brain lit up, because the Vipassana was already curing my broken brain, and I went into the grounding, and I had some really crazy experiences, which I'll talk about more in the future as I assimilate that knowledge. But the point is that grounding really does purify. Grounding purifies the mind. So why they tell us not to look at the sun? Because they don't want you to purify your mind. Why they tell you urine therapy is a waste product? The Matrix? Because they don't want you to purify your mind. They don't want you to come out of suffering. They don't want you to come out of duality. Nobody does. Nobody wants you to come out of enlightenment. Especially the people at the top. Because then you're fucked. They're fucked. Once you have enlightenment, once you come out of duality, you're fucked. As you raise your consciousness, you raise vibration, you purify this vessel, which is impure by the fact of fucking birth. Trauma. It's not even your fault. Well, everyone has birth trauma. It's a natural consequence of living. We all have trauma. We have suffering. We all live in fucking duality. That's the point, isn't it? It's purification. So what I said, grounding, sun gazing, aged urine, fasting. Intermittent fasting will slowly purify the mind compared to, say, you've not ever done But really, long-term fasting, whether it be a long juice fast, 48-hour plus dry fast, or 2-3 day plus water fast, that again, cleanliness, emptiness purifies the mind. And I'm all about purifying the mind, and that's all I'm going to be talking about pretty much. Physical health protocols, really, I'll talk about them too, don't get me wrong, and diseases, but really why I'm here in this situation and what I'm going to continue in the future is purification of my vine vessel using what I'm good at, which is discipline, stepping up my game, keeping the body still for much longer periods of time, daily, committed, fasting for much longer. I've been lazy with fasting this year. Oh, another one, huge. I'm going to dedicate myself to Vipassana now, daily. I'll keep doing transcendental a little bit, because I do like that. I wanted to encourage people to do transcendental, but I'm stepping up my game in terms of purification. That's my focus. I now see it as what I'm saying is absolute truths. All these things purify the mind, and what I crave, I never achieve enlightenment if you crave, Harry. What I desire is to heal my brain to a level that at least it's acceptable to me, coming from the position I have. I don't expect to achieve enlightenment. I mean, fuck it. It's pretty much impossible, but I will be stepping my game up in all avenues, and should be fucking noticeable in how I come across too. That I'll be changing. I mean, all of us change, right? But I think the speed at which, I hope to change the speed at which I change a lot, and it all comes to purification of the mind to me. Of course, when I purify my mind of all these health protocols, what's the consequence? My skin will look good, my health will be good too. Don't get me wrong, I do love physical health, but really why I came in here was to fix my broken brain. Onto that vein, I will fucking continue, and I'll preach, and I'll write books, and do all the shit I do, and step it up, and teach and preach, and encourage people to do the right things that I've learned. And then, of course, if new things come out that were wrong out, or I didn't know, that also purify the mind, I'll go on board. I'm not closed-minded either. I don't think, oh yeah, all these things are the only things. No, that's how I got in the position I did. How did I learn about urine therapy, aged urine? I was just open-minded, and I tried, and then it worked. So if anything new comes along, cool, I'll just take them on board, and I'll keep going and never stop. But purification of the mind is what I desire, because that's why I'm here. My mind was, I maybe agreed to it, I saw contract, leave it. My mind was so fucked, my brain was so broken, beginning at age 14 to like 22, 8 years of my life. It's still healing from it now, 10 years later, and it's okay, I'm happy. And actually I love it, because now I can really understand some deep truths and share it to you guys about the purification of the mind, and which is the most powerful, and which is the right focus. However, I'm always understanding that people don't want to do urine therapy, people don't want to sun gaze, and all these kind of things. That's okay, you find what you do, just work with whatever you do, enjoy your life, that's the point. But just understand that we all live in duality, and the point of duality is you will suffer. You have £1 million, if you think that getting laid, sleeping with a load of girls, having loads of sex, meaningless shit, watching loads of porn, having loads of money is going to make you escape suffering, you're a fucking fool. Because you're all going to suffer. People you love are going to die. You live in duality. You crave sex. You crave money. You crave all this shit. That's not the way out. You're always going to suffer. It doesn't matter how much high status you get in life. Yeah? Doesn't matter how much people look up to you, become a fucking celebrity. We all suffer in this. So that's why purification of the mind matters. Because then, once the mind is more purified, you become more like a rock. And you'll realize the external doesn't matter, and it's all about the internal. Like meditation says, it's all about the internal. How you process. Are you reacting? Are you observing reactions, or are you reacting to life, like good and bad? Do I crave good things, or am I averse to bad things? If you crave good things and averse to bad things, you'll always suffer in life, and we're always suffering. But we can always try to suffer a little less, and maybe one moment in life we recognize something, a situation, going, oh, I'm craving this thing, oh, I'm averse to this thing, and then awareness, we start growing, right? By the way, I had no idea where this video goes. I appreciate you guys watching me. I'm just literally spouting whatever is true. But mainly, this is just a story, and for me, of like, what I'm going to do the next couple of years, and what my focus is now. I actually know now. I fucking know now. I knew what the mission was, but now it's really, I double down on the mission. Now it's time to really go as far as I can go, and really stop wasting time procrastinating. For example, for myself, not fasting enough and eating junk has been going on for a little too long for my liking. I'm going to have to work on that. I'm not perfect with it. I'm really going to have to focus on purification of the mind. That's mine. That's my focus, my jam. It's all about the broken brain. Daniel Arman stuff. Check that guy out. He's fucking good. Yeah, I can't. With the swearing, I just roll with whatever I'm going to say at this time. I don't try consciously to do that. However, if you notice, old people never swear. So what happens as we get older, I think, is we lose the ego, and I don't think that's gonna. It's just a part of stage. I'm a young man, 32. I'm ambitious. I'm kind. I want to help people. I don't think I should change my personality. Who I am is who I am. I don't think I should consciously try and swear less. Nope. No. I'm just rolling with the flow of my personality according to the current level of consciousness, which I work hard at, by the way. I work hard at my updating my level of consciousness a lot. So as I work to keep uplifting my level of consciousness, maybe at some point I will stop swearing. But that's a judgment at the end of the day, isn't it? Stop swearing, all that stuff. For me, we've got an image that people that are the most enlightened are the ones that don't swear and stuff. You know, don't we? That might be wrong too. I don't know. That's just that's an ego role, isn't it? We have an ego identification role that people that are very spiritual don't swear. That's an ego. Think about it. It's an ego identification role. So I'm not swearing anything in particular. I don't know. Maybe it's hang. I don't know. I don't understand the politics of swearing at all, to be honest with you. But definitely, yeah, Daniel, man, his passion, and I'm young. And I know that by the time I'm 40, 50, I don't think that will be very... I've known with 60, 70, I don't see many 60, 70-year-olds going around saying fuck off all the time and shit. So anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. And purification of the mind vessel, that's where it comes from. Feeling centered in your body and feeling happy. Yeah, feeling really genuinely happy in duality. It doesn't come as much from physical health, body. It does a little bit, but it's mainly the mind. And do you want proof of that? Go and take some magic mushrooms. If you haven't, I'm sure you guys have. What happens when we take shrooms? What happens when we take ayahuasca and that ego dies? It's not like those drugs purify the body. They're not like Cambo. They're not like a health protocol. What they do is they fuck with the mind. Those psychedelics, they tinker with the mind, and all of a sudden now you're free from duality and your ego is dropped. But if you take enough of it, your ego gets shattered. It's all about that. That's a great case, psychedelics, for it's all about the mind. You think it's about the physical body. We're long past the physical body, guys. Let's understand that. We're long past, well, I'm going to get a heart attack or stroke for you. If it is, you do, cool. I don't think we have to worry about that now. Let's start worrying about the purification of the mind, the centeredness and the calmness and gratefulness and happiness for being alive, because that's why psychedelics work. We don't take psychedelics and don't heal us from disease, psychedelics, but they do heal the mind and like drop the ego, and the ego's here. The ego's here, man. Identification, separation, it's all in this vessel, this thing, man. This is where consciousness is. It's my belief that it's all one, the physical body and mind connection, but it's really the mind, and that'll be my photos from here to now. So there we go. Peace, and as always, thanks for watching and joining me, and